Welcome back. In this lesson we'll be doing the arms. And the arms on a male would have a lot of bulk and detail. On this particular type of female, we're not going to have a lot of bulk and detail, so it shouldn't be too hard. Let's go to our clay buildup brush. Lower your res to, let's see, 4 looks good. And then we'll just start. Now, we never really developed the connection between the shoulder and the back, so we'll do that in this section too. So for the shoulder, all these muscles are going to kind of come together. And they'll come into this rounded mass. It's all just going to look like one, just one mound. Now, if you want to be detailed, it actually tapers in right here, and then you could see the tip of this bone. You could put that detail in there. Just give it a little bit more realistic look. Okay. We don't want to add too much bulk, so we got to keep this brush at a really low sensitivity. So, yes, that's what I mean. Bicep bi because it has 2 heads. Connects from here to right up inside. It goes underneath the deltoid. Okay, keeping everything really, really lean and smooth. Okay, we can use our Damien standard brush, B, D, S, to now if you're not going to want to hold down Alt, because this brush by default goes down as a negative. Lower the intensity down to something like 5, and keep it on lazy. Turn lazy mouse on. Let's see, 10, something like that. Yeah. So you can kind of just build like a little furrow in there. You can kind of, so with this arms, because you don't want to draw in too much bulk, you can kind of work with indentations as opposed to always just adding things. I mean, that kind of holds true for any body part, but these, like specifically these little cuts. Okay, let's take a little bit of bulk out of the center here. So the forearm is basically tendons right up to about here, and muscles right up to about here. All the muscles turn into tendons for controlling the finger and the hand and all that stuff. And then there's bones. Bones of the radius and ulna. And then the ulnar furrow, which is kind of the edge of the ulna that you sometimes see in certain positions of the arm. We'll just draw that in there. And the elbow. Now the thing with the elbow is when your arm is straight like this, there's going to be a dimple right here, and these muscles are going to come out over it. But when she bends her arm, this dimple is going to actually push out, and it's going to become a bump. So you want to keep in mind what the final position is going to be, or what maybe the preferred position is going to be in the end, because that stuff's going to change, if you want to be detailed about it. So I'm actually going to give her a little bit of protrusion here, which wouldn't normally be like correct for having her arm straight out like this, but I think it's going to work better for what I got later. So these arms these muscles right here, it's kind of a mass of muscles right here, and they all connect into here, called a brachioradialis. That's I think that's an antiquated term. It's something I learned in art school. But basically it's the part of the flexors, the muscles that flex the hand together. And let's use our Damien standard brush to put a little dip in there. Okay. So from the side, this should kind of be more flattened out. There we go. It's looking a little better. There's a bump right there. We don't need that. But what we do want is we want some sign of like tendons coming into the hand right there and then getting lost in this mass of muscle. If you get carried away with these muscles in the forearm, you're going to get, I mean, you know, this is a very like athletic character, so you can kind of go a little overboard if you want. Here, these muscles right here all connect to this part of the, not sure if it's the radius, I guess, and they all kind of come down like that. Okay. It's looking decent. Back here we got some weird kind of bends and stuff. So I'm going to use my move tool and try to straighten that out a little bit. There we go. And going back to the upper arm, we have the tricep. Oops. BCB. Which is on the back of the arm. It's got these two kind of lobes that connect into here, here, and here. But they all kind of flow together. And in the end, what you get is the arm kind of protrudes out, not up here where you would think it does, or like in a male it would kind of protrude up here a little more, but in a female you get this bump kind of like partway down the arm, and then here it actually tapers in. So we want to taper this in right here, and then push this out a little bit right here. Smooth all that over, and that's looking about right. We could even define it a little if we want to give her like cool surfer muscles. Okay. Just going to continue to refine here. There's another muscle that goes in between here, but you'll almost never see it. So we're actually going to create a divide here between the bicep and the tricep. Okay, so bone right here. Make sure we have that. Let's go up to 5, subdivision 5. so we can get more sketchy with this stuff. You can kind of sketch things in and then blend them. Okay, so there's these muscles here. There's another muscle right here. It's just this little fat muscle that kind of goes into these, creates this little corner right there. So continue refining. It might take longer than this lesson to get this entire arm finished. I mean, you could noodle this thing forever, but basically you got the broad strokes of it and the anatomy. So in the next lesson, we, instead of starting on the hand, because the hand definitely needs some love, we're gonna go start working on the face, because I think that's the next most interesting part to work on. So thanks for watching.